In this video, I'm going to go over 3 tips that you can use to boost confidence before games. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental performance coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. Now, when we're looking at building confidence or boosting confidence before games, we want to make sure that we've done everything we can in terms of preparation throughout the week, throughout the weeks leading up to the performance. However, when it comes to game day, right? So you're about to start the performance, you're about to start the game. What can you do to build your confidence? Well, there are 3 tips that I have for you to apply. Tip number 1 is you want to focus on confident body language. And a lot of times this will be the easiest of the tips to apply because it's as simple as us paying attention to, okay, how am I walking out here on the field? How am I walking on the court? How am I approaching warm-ups? How am I holding my body when I'm listening to my coach talk? If I'm in the locker room and am I slouched over, and is my body language signaling to my brain that I'm scared and I'm afraid? Or is my body language confident? That's always the first thing that you want to pay attention to, because even if you don't feel confident, you want to at least make yourself appear to be confident. Now, this is going to do 2 things. Number 1, it will, show to other people that you seem confident, but that's honestly not what I'm concerned about. But what it will do most importantly is that it's going to signal to your brain that you're confident. Because I want you to try something right now. If you're sitting down or you're standing up and you notice that your shoulders are slouched over, right, and you don't really have confident body language, I want you to immediately pull your shoulders back and have confident body language. Stand there in a very confident pose. Now, if you do this, it's difficult to do that and then also feel scared and still feel less confident. Now, it's not going to solve all of our problems with our confidence, but it is a first place to start. Now, I have a really silly kind of practice that you can use, and it's something that I actually tried when I was trying to build my confidence when I was playing baseball. I'd watched a video and I had heard the idea of trying to walk when nobody else is around, right? Just trying to walk in a very confident way, like an extremely confident way that was more exaggerated. So I was living in an apartment at the time, and I would walk down the hall in the apartment with my shoulders back, just in a really confident way. And it felt pretty silly at the beginning, or in the beginning, but what ended up happening was I started to get used to that confident state, and I started to feel better as I walked that way. So it might be something for you to try on your own, but then most importantly, right before you practice, or right before the game starts, really use that confident body language, right? When the game is beginning, hold your body in a confident way. Tip number 2 is to focus on positive thoughts. When it comes to, right before the game starting, there's very little that we're going to be able to do physically to get ourselves ready to compete if we're not already ready. But what we can do is make sure that we are thinking that we are ready. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say that, you've been practicing throughout the week, and maybe you're coming off of a bad game and your practices haven't gone exactly the way that you want them to. If that's the case, then you have the choice to go into the game thinking, I'm not prepared, I haven't been playing well recently, I haven't been practicing well recently, I don't know if I can play well today, I hope the game goes well today. All of those types of thoughts, even though they are necessarily true, right, and you probably don't feel that confident, those thoughts are not doing anything in terms of helping you feel more confident. So it does no harm for you to have thoughts like, I know I can go out there and play well today. Even though I didn't play well last game, this is going to be the game that I turn things around. I trust in myself. I know I'm good enough to go out there and just give it my all and have a great performance today. So you want to make sure that you're thinking positive thoughts. This doesn't always mean that you have to be telling yourself, I am the greatest of all time, I'm perfect. We don't need to be thinking those things, but we do need to make sure that our thoughts are just a little bit more positive and productive and confident. Telling yourself these confident things, in addition to having confident body language, will lead to more confidence out there for you when you play. And then the third tip that I have for you is to use visualization. Now, this is especially important if you are coming off bad practices or bad games. One of the main reasons that we feel confident coming off of a good performance is because we have that memory of success. We've seen ourselves do well in the most recent performance, or, we've seen ourselves do really well in practice. And so we're thinking, oh, wow, I've been doing well recently. I know I can go out here and do well again. Unfortunately, when you've been playing poorly or you've had bad practices, it will not be easy to get into that state where you're thinking, oh, I've done well recently, I know I can do well again. but we can use visualization to start creating those scenes and those images in our minds of us doing well. And if you play with a lot of fear or anxiety, it's also likely that your mind will be full of thoughts, of fear, of anxiety. So you're thinking about you messing up, and we're starting to picture all these negative things that we don't necessarily want to be picturing. With visualization, what you can do before the game begins is go through and mentally rehearse what's going to happen in the game. Visualize yourself performing well, visualize yourself bouncing back from mistakes, visualize yourself helping your team win. Just fill your mind with scenes of you performing well as a way to build this memory of success and to make sure that even if you are feeling afraid of how the game will go, you're ensuring that your mind is full of confident thoughts and scenes of you doing well instead of scenes of you failing. Now, all in all, the reason that you want to use these 3 tips or any other tips that you've come across to help you build confidence is because when you have confidence going into a game, that then leads to confident play. And what I mean by confident play is the aggressive play, the free play, the natural play that leads to you doing your best. That is not going to happen if you're constantly doubting yourself and then playing with fear and worry. Now, in addition to these 3 tips, I also offer one-on-one mental coaching for you if you are an athlete looking to build more confidence in yourself. And if you are interested in learning more about the one-on-one coaching I offer, I've put a link to that in the description below. Give these 3 tips a try to boost your confidence going into a game so you can play naturally, you can play freely, and most importantly, you can perform your best for that day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new videos each week on sports psychology and mental training. And if you're interested in one-on-one coaching or any of the sports psychology programs I have available, I've put links to those in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do.